Hello, darkness, my friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp. I turned my collar to the cold and damp, when my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs and voices never shared, and no one dared disturb the sound of silence. Fool said I, you do not know. Silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words and I might teach you. Take my arms and I might reach you. But my words, like silent raindrops fell, and echoed in the wells of silence. And the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made. And the sign flashed out his warning, and the words that it was falling. And the sign said the words of the prophets are written on the subway walls and tenement halls, and whispered in the sound of silence.
Oh, Christ on a cracker, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Hell Week. We are here. We are rocking on Thursday as we always do, but this week we're doing something a little bit different. Perhaps you knew that, in fact, we were going to be playing these bad songs today. I've been warning you for weeks now, but now here we are. And now it is time to purge 25 of the worst songs I could find in Rock Band. Now, to be clear, there's a couple things I want to get out of the way here. One, I don't own every bad song in this video game. There are a handful I don't. So if you are looking for Just Kate's You Suck or the janitors, I can't help you today. But I do feel like the ones I have culled together for this playlist are Herculean in their awfulness. And I believe that you will benefit from their horribleness much as I have. The other thing I want to say, and I've said this before, and I said this in the lead up to today's playlist, I am judging this music as terrible. I am judging every song on this list as something that I actively dislike. You may disagree with me. You might say, no, Alex, that's a good song, you're wrong. And you know what? That's okay. We don't judge here. If you like any or all of the songs on this playlist, go with God. We will not judge you for it. That is not what we do here. I would only ask that you grant me, your humble video game drummer, the right to express his feelings on this absolutely wretched fucking music. If you will grant me that, I think we will have a good time today. Now let's move on to the next song. Now let me be clear. I don't have any real aggressive dislike of Jimmy Buffett conceptually. By all accounts, he's a nice enough man. Apparently a big rock band fan. He apparently was, like, when these songs came out, he was touring with a rock band kit, like, out in the parking lots people could play so they could play the Jimmy Buffett songs. The main thing is that I find his music incredibly annoying. He's fine. I don't I don't like it. And I felt like if I was going to open with a Disturbed song, I should play a Jimmy Buffett song after that, because if you were an old-time Rock Band fan, you remember one of the first very weird DLC weeks ever in Rock Band was a combination of a Disturbed 3-pack and a Jimmy Buffett 3-pack. Had to do it. Had to do it to him. All right, well, with that out of the way, let's play the worst song in the world. Christ, that's over. Jesus. That song is just unbearable to me. I don't even really have a particular hate of Panic at the Disco, like they're not a band I like. But I feel like the thing about a lot of those bands from like the early 2000s that I didn't have a problem with, they went on to create problems musically. That's a case in point. All I think of when I hear that song is, you worked for a company that fixed bread prices. Just saying. Oh, what did I put next? It's probably pretty bad. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm starting that one over because I wasn't ready for it. Here we go.
Say I'm pretty
white guy.
You know it's kinda hard just to get along today. Our subject isn't cool, but he fakes it anyway. He may not have a clue and he may not have style, but everything he lacks, well, he makes up in denial. So don't defame, play it straight. You know it really doesn't get it anyway. Gotta play that feel, keep it real. For you, no way, for you, no way. So if you don't break, just overcompensate. At least you know you can always go on a delay. The world needs one piece of. Hey, hey, do that brand new thing.
Give it to me, baby. Give it to me, baby. Give it to me, baby.
He needs some cool tunes, not just any will suffice. But they didn't have Ice Cube, so he bought Vanilla Ice. Now cruising in his Pinto, he sees homies as he passed. But if he looks twice, they're gonna kick his lily ass. So don't defame, play it straight. You know it really doesn't get it anyway. Gotta play that feel, keep it real. For you, no way, for you, no way. So if you don't break, just overcompensate. At least you know you can always go on a delay. The world loves one piece of. Hey, hey, do that brand new thing. Now he's getting a tattoo, yeah, he's getting ink done. He asked for a 13, but they drew a 31. Friends say he's trying too hard, and he's not quite hip. But in his own mind, he's the dopest rap.
Give it to me, baby. Give it to me, baby. Give it to me, baby.
So don't defame, play it straight. You know it really doesn't get it anyway. Gotta play that feel, keep it real. For you, no way, for you, no way. So if you don't break, just overcompensate. At least you know you can always go on a delay. The world needs one piece of. The world loves a one piece of. Let's get some more one piece of. Hey, hey, do that brand new thing.
That was almost going to be my 100th full combo, I think, until I hit that last note. And you know what? I'm glad I did. That shouldn't be the one. That shouldn't be the one at all. Not acceptable. Not that any of these songs are acceptable or better, really, but you know. That song has aged poorly for a variety of reasons. It aged badly the moment it was released, but it has especially rank odor now, gotta say. I almost put Vanilla Ice's Ice Ice Baby after this, but you know what? Here's the thing about Ice Ice Baby. It's not a good song. It's not that bad. It has a good sample in it, and I feel bad for Vanilla Ice. He got a lot. His life, you should read up on him. A lot of what happened to him in his career is the result of bad record company management. Now, maybe if they put the rap metal version of Ice Ice Baby, which if you've never heard, oh, you should look that up. Maybe I would have played that. I just didn't feel like it was. Maybe another week. Because we're going to do more of these bad music weeks down the road, because we're here for a while. There's more bad music to play. And you know what? With only 25 songs to work with today, we are going to be talking over the EA thing after this. Also, I'm going to be honest, just OCD thing. I really wanted to hit 420 songs played by the end of this, so I didn't want to go above that. We're going to do more bad music playlists down the road. We will not have purged the entirety of the terrible music library of Rock Band today. It's just not going to happen. So, with that, let's move into our next terrible song. Another song that does feature a white rapper.
freaks losing sleep, counting sheep. Absolute cash and loot, man in black packing heat. Born and blazing, rotten, raising fingers up. Time to wave 'em. Show these players playing that they better get their to praying. They won't be nothing but dice after the cutting. I'm gutting them like a fish. They gonna wish they never pushed my button. The door is shutting and it's not gonna do you no good. You're getting nothing while I rock here in Hollywood. I'll tell you something else. You can take it to the bank. I don't give a what none of y'all people think. Holding the gold is so gold, it's so golden, y'all. Golden Cobra. Holding the gold is so gold, it's so golden, y'all. Golden Cobra. Holding the gold is so gold, it's so golden, y'all. Golden Cobra. Holding the gold is so gold, it's so golden, y'all. Golden Cobra. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Feeling corn, going blind, free as hell, doing time. I'm insane, can't complain. Flush you turds down the drain, down the hatch, throwing craps, throwing matches on the gas. Check the map, check the wheels, check the ride, pay the bills. Burning miles, wanna smile if you're feeling versatile. Versus wild, flipping, grinding trucks, skating digits, hating, harbor, Harley, hating, knife and slice shit like bacon. Sick and tired, you is fired. I'm the truth and you's the liar. The door is shutting and it's not gonna do you no good. You're getting nothing while I rock here in Hollywood. I'll tell you something else. You can take it to the bank. I don't give a what none of y'all people think. Holding the gold is so gold, it's so golden, y'all. Golden Cobra. Holding the gold is so gold, it's so golden, y'all. Golden Cobra. Holding the gold is so gold, it's so golden, y'all. Golden Cobra. Holding the gold is so gold, it's so golden, y'all. Golden Cobra. I'm telling you, keep on this, it sure is telling you. Oh yeah, listen what I'm telling you. I'm telling you, keep on this, it sure is telling you. Holding the gold is so gold, it's so golden, y'all. Golden Cobra. Holding the gold is so gold, it's so golden, y'all. Golden Cobra. Holding the gold is so gold, it's so golden, y'all. Golden Cobra. Holding the gold is so gold, it's so golden, y'all. Golden Cobra.
Ugh. I appreciate the one thing that I appreciate about Gold Cobra, which is awful even by Limp Bizkit standards, is that someone very clearly asked Fred Durst, hey, do you want to write a chorus for their song? And he just kind of went, nah. What if I just said Gold Cobra a bunch? Y'all. And it's just like, okay, that's the chorus. That's the chorus to that song. Don't feel like writing anything else. That's the kind of laziness I can appreciate. Oh. All right. These next couple of songs come from a particularly rife with troubling music genre. That would be the Christian rock genre, which we'll talk a little bit more about in a second. Here you go. Get it again. My head is just not there. Let's do it for real.
Separated, I cut myself clean from a past that comes back in my darkest
strange? Does it make me a stranger? My best friend was born in a manger. People say I'm strange. Does it make me a stranger? My best friend was born in a manger.
That song. I heard that song. I probably told this story before. I heard that song for the first time in the car with one of my ex-bandmates, former GameSpot editor Glenn Rubenstein, who I don't mean to talk shit about a man I've known for many years, a friend of mine. The man's music tastes could be great. Sometimes he liked really interesting, cool shit. And sometimes he would just throw on like DC Talk. And it's not because he was Christian, because he wasn't. He just liked it. I don't really know how to explain that, other than to say, I mean, his favorite band was the Bare Naked Ladies, so do what you will with that. There is a great article that was written earlier this year, which, as everyone remembers, was 35 years ago, by Colin Space Twinks, friend of the site. He wrote a thing about the Christian Sonic the Hedgehog fandom. And then there he goes on to talk a lot about sort of Christian media, the way people consume it. People talk about, like basically the way that Christian media essentially tries to take what is in pop culture and recreate it well enough that it passes enough of a smell test that it sounds like the more rebellious, interesting thing that's going off over there. But, obviously is appropriate for a God-fearing audience. And that is really what that song feels to me. Like, they took three different, subgenres of alternative, smushed them together. I was like, that sounds like what radio is. Now here's some God. You should read that article. It's a great one. It's in New York Magazine, I believe. Here's another one. I don't know anything about this band. I just know this song sucks shit.
Hold up, wait a minute, put a little love in it. Doctor, I've got an emergency. It seems I'm head over heels, a case of elderly. It's like I'm going inside, yeah.
Oh God, there are people in the chat that like this song. All right, well, live your lives, live your truth. That one did literally nothing for me. Nothing. Other than make me want to fucking claw my ears out. All right. Let's take another one. Let's do one more. And then I think we will, hang on, I've got an important message over here that I just want to check on. I forgot to upload my Beastcast audio. I can't do that right now, Vinny. I'm sorry. I'll get to that soon enough. Anyway, this next song is not a Christian rock song, but it does talk about God. It's for a bit. And it's by a band. It's not a Christian rock band. You maybe know them. They don't make good music these days. And this is case in point. Here you go.
The girl in the pastry shop with the net in her hair is making a cannoli for you to take on a hiking trip in the woods with your bros that you've known since second grade. And you may encounter dragons or ruffians and be called upon to employ your testosterone in a battle for supremacy and access to females glued to the TV. And even if you are victorious, you may receive many cuts, bruises, and scrapes, and you will require band-aids and antiseptic ointments and tender loving kisses on your stab wounds. And when you come home, she will be there waiting for you with a fire in her eyes and a big fat cannoli to shove in your mouth. And that's why I thank God for girls. Holidays in Christi, from Tennessee to LA. Thank God for girls. On your reckoning day, you better bow down and pray. She's so big, she's so strong, she's so energetic and sweaty overalls. Thank God for girls. Thank God for girls. Thank God for girls. I'm so glad I got a girl to think of, even though she isn't mine. I think about her all the day and all the night. It's enough to know that she's a lie. She says I give her sweaty palms, she almost had a heart attack. The truth is that I'm just as scared, I don't know how to act. I wish that I could get to know her better, but meeting up in real life will cause illusion to shadow her. I call the name into all the trees, sing a song down on one knee, looking at the underwear page of this year's catalog like when I was 14. I'm levitating like a magnet, turn the wrong way around. I'm like an Indian fakir trying to meditate on the better levels of my pants pulled down. Thank God for girls. Holidays in Christi, from Tennessee to LA. Thank God for girls. On your reckoning day, you better bow down and pray. She's so big, she's so strong, she's so energetic in a sweaty overalls. Thank God for girls. Thank God for girls. Thank God for girls. God took a rib from Adam, ground it up in a centrifuge machine, mixed it with cardamom and cloves, microwaved it on the popcorn set, and while Adam was like, that really hurts, so pissed at God, and he started lighting mighty forest fires, stealing our spree eggs, messing with the bees who were trying to pollinate the echinacea, until God said, I'm gonna smite you with loneliness and break your heart in two. And Adam wept and wailed, tearing out his hair, falling on his knees, looked to the sky and said, thank God.
Thank God that shit is over. What an absolute miserable fucking song. I'm not going to say this is the entire problem with modern Weezer, because I haven't listened to enough of it to say this definitively, but I feel like a big part of the problem is that Rivers Cuomo is trying to write songs in pretty much the same way he was trying to write songs in the 90s. And that man has got to be over 50 at this point, and He just sounds like a cornball asshole when he writes shit like this. I don't know. Matt Sharp picked the right time to get out of that band. Well, with that, I'm going to take a short break here. Not going to take too many breaks because we have the EA talkover coming up after this. So stay tuned for that. We will be talking about, I'm sure, the definitely happening Mass Effect Trilogy remaster. I'm sure we will talk about Skate 3 on mobile, EA Sports, all the good stuff, you know. Next week, so I'm not going to say definitively we're doing this because I haven't done the full test yet, but I did at least boot up the game and it does work. We have been talking about doing some stuff outside of just the Rock Band library, some other music games in which you play the drums. And I did go out and I did acquire a couple of old Guitar Hero games, one of which has showed up. So, if all goes according to plan, next week we will be playing Guitar Hero World Tour, specifically the songs that are not available in the Rock Band library. So there's like 30-something of them, and 3 of them are Tool songs. Unfortunately, all the DLC has long since been delisted, but we're going to play it. We're going to try it. So why not? And if for some reason it doesn't work or I can't make it happen, then we'll just play more of this. Does that sound like a good idea? Yeah, I think that sounds like a good idea, so we'll do that. As always, thank you for joining me on these drum streams. It is hot in here. It wasn't that hot in here before. Now it is. But I'm okay. There's actually a breeze coming through the window, which is nice. And we're not going to be here for too long, thankfully. We do have several more songs to get through, though. Terra Nova asking any Creed in this. Well, let's just say the last 9 songs or so are what I am affectionately referring to as the butt rock block. So you have that to look forward to. But we're not there yet. We have some other garbage to get through before that. It's not a good block. It's not pleasant. Not enjoyable to listen to. None of this really is, to me at least. But again, if you like any of this music, go with God, literally in some cases. I do not judge you. I simply express my opinion, which is that all these songs make me want to die. All the dinos asking, what is your pick for the worst song of all time? Oh, boy. Oh, that's tough. There are at least a few on here I would probably put in consideration. There's a lot of bad music in the world. Like, it's really hard to pin down one particularly the worst song. Temporary Secretary's up there. Marino. Everyone in the chat getting that one out there. That's a bad one. Forever Young by Alphaville. God, I don't even know that one. Baby Shark. There's so much. There's just so much bad music, and we're going to play more of it. What do you say we just keep it moving? Let's keep this moving. Let's get through more. There's a lot of bad music to get through still. Let's do it. Let's move on to the next. These next two, so you probably know that I'm a Bay Area kid. I was raised in the San Francisco Bay Area primarily, and I think the Bay Area music scene in general has largely produced a lot of great music over the years. It has also produced some real fucking clunkers, like these next two.
She's back in the atmosphere with drops of Jupiter in her head. She acts like summer and walks like rain. Reminds me that there's time to change. Since the return of her stay on the moon, she listens like spring and she talks like June. But tell me, did you sail across the sun? Did you make it to the Milky Way?
One of the subgenres of music that I find most deeply intolerable is what I like to refer to as wedding garbage. And specifically, it is a song that is like scientifically built to be played at the worst weddings that you go to. Bruno Mars's "Marry You." I like Bruno Mars, okay, but "Marry You" is an unbearable song. Pink's "Raise Your Glass," that kind of shit. Like just the stuff that the worst weddings that your worst family members put on. That's the shit they have the DJ play. Can't take it. Can't suffer it. Can't do it. And that song is definitely in that category. This next one's not, but it's a bad song. Written by some once pretty great band that went through some different iterations and landed on this one, and that's unfortunate. Here we go.
We built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. Built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. Say you don't know me, I recognize my face. Say you don't care who goes to that
I think about what Jefferson Airplane was. I even think about what Jefferson Starship was. And then I come to this, and I don't know what to say about it, really, man, other than drugs do a real number on you. I actually have 2 grievances with the members of Airplane, Starship, whatever. One is this song, which is unbearable. The other, I think I've told this story before. My mother, in the 60s, lived in the Haight-Ashbury, was very ensconced in the Summer of Love music scene, The Dead, all those bands. Her husband at the time was the head photographer for Rolling Stones. They knew all those people. And the one and only time my mother apparently did acid was not on purpose. She went to a Jefferson Airplane party and drank the punch because she was young and did not know that was not a thing you should do unless you want to be in a certain way. And she has never done it since then. And I blame them for that, for making her first acid experience a poor one. So Grace Slick, I'm coming for you. No, I'm not. I've forgiven you for that one. Not for this, though. Not for We Built This City. There's no forgiving that. All right. These next 3 songs, see, there was no way I was going to be able to do this without getting into this genre a little bit. This is the country trio for this playlist, these next 3 songs. And this first one, it goes out to all my baseball heads out there, all my fans of the baseball, and also all my fans of coming up with exactly one metaphor and beating it to death. That is what this song is. Here we go.
Take me out to the ball game. Swing, batter, batter, swing, batter, batter, swing. Swing, batter, batter, swing, batter, batter, swing, batter, batter, swing. Yeah. Hey, baby, do you come here often? Hey, baby, now watch your sign. Hold on now, where you going? Jimmy's out, next in line. Swing, batter, batter, swing, batter, batter, swing, batter, batter, swing. Swing, batter, batter, swing, batter, batter, swing, batter, batter, swing. Swing, batter, batter, swing, batter, batter, swing, batter, batter, swing. Swing, batter, batter, swing, batter, batter, swing, batter, batter, swing. Why, yes, I went to Harvard. I majored in pre-med. Just stayed for one semester. Tom's out. Who's next? Swing, batter, batter, swing, batter, batter, swing, batter, batter, swing. Swing, batter, batter, swing, batter, batter, swing, batter, batter, swing. Swing, batter, batter, swing, batter, batter, swing, batter, batter, swing. Swing, batter, batter, swing, batter, batter, swing, batter, batter, swing. Swing it out. Everybody strikes out 9 times out of 10. But you gotta step up to the plate, son, 'cause every now and then she walked right up to me, said, could I take you home? Hey boys, I'll see you later.
Yeah, holy cow indeed. What a fucking piece of work. It was so bad the stick in my hand tried to escape, tried to run away. It was like, no, I can't do any more of that. That's, again, you had one metaphor and you're like, okay, that's a whole song. No, you didn't. You did not have that song. You did not have it, Trace Adkins. This next song, okay, to preface this one, right now, what I would like you to do is a little thought exercise. I would like you to use your mental powers to conjure the image of the country artist you would least like to hear the phrase, "Who's your daddy from?" And here he is.
Here you come knocking on my door, baby. Tell me what you got on your mind. I guess those college boys all went home for the summertime. Yeah, you're looking right, looking good, looking like a woman. She's so wise, it's so hard to find. A place to lay your pretty little head down once in a while. You run on a little tough loving, baby. Don't you sweat it. Everything is waiting inside for you. You know I got it. Come and get it. Who's your daddy? Who's your baby? Who's your buddy? Who's your friend? And who's the one guy that you come running to when your love life starts tumbling? I got the money, you got the honey. Let's cut a deal. Let's make a plan. Who's your daddy? Who's your baby? Who's your buddy? Who's your man? Might have run on a little tough looking, baby, did you? Don't you sweat. Everything is waiting inside for you. You know I got it. So come and get it. Who's your daddy? Who's your baby? Who's your buddy? Yeah, who's your friend? And who's the one guy that you come running to? Hey, when your love life starts tumbling. I got the money, you got the honey. Let's cut a deal. Let's make a plan. Who's your daddy? Who's your baby? Who's your buddy? Who's your man? Who's your daddy? Who's your baby? Who's your buddy? Who's your man?
They make you think it's going to be over. It's not. Well, look, I'll give Toby Keith this. At least he's willing to be out there and public about his sugar daddy relationships. I mean, that's fine. If that's how he wants to live his life, by all means. I just don't want to hear it in song form, ever. Especially from him. Ever. All right, well, this last one of the country trio is what I like to refer to as bumper sticker country, because it has that real baby on board feel of, I saw that slogan on a bumper sticker, what if that was a song?
Well, I walk into the room, passing out $100 bills, and it kills and it thrills like the horns on my Silverado grill. And I buy the bar a double round of Crown, and everybody's getting down in this town. Ain't never gonna be the same. 'Cause I saddle up my horse and I ride into the city. I make a lot of noise, 'cause the girls, they are so pretty. Riding up and down Broadway on my old stud Leroy, and the girls say, save a horse, ride a cowboy. Everybody says, save a horse, ride a cowboy. Well, I don't give a dang about nothing. I'm singing and bling-blinging while the girls are drinking. Long necks down, and I wouldn't trade old Leroy or my Chevrolet for your Escalade or your freak parade. I'm the only John Wayne left in this town, and I saddle up my horse and I ride into the city. I make a lot of noise, 'cause the girls, they are so pretty. Riding up and down Broadway on my old stud Leroy, and the girls say, save a horse, ride a cowboy. Everybody says, save a horse, ride a cowboy. I'm a thoroughbred, that's what she said in the back of my truck bed as I was getting buzzed on suds out on some backcountry road. We were flying high, fine as wine, heading on down 69, and I was going just about as far as she'd let me go. But her evaluation of my cowboy reputation had me begging for salvation all night long. So I took her out gigging frogs, introduced her to my old bird dog, and sang her every Willie Nelson song I could think of, and we made love. Then I saddle up my horse and I ride into the city. I make a lot of noise, 'cause the girls, they are so pretty. Riding up and down Broadway on my old stud Leroy, and the girls say, save a horse, ride a cowboy. Everybody says, save a horse, ride a cowboy. What, save a horse, ride a cowboy. Everybody says, save a horse, ride a cowboy.
I will not. I will not save a horse and ride a cowboy, big and rich. Oh, that's a full combo I wish I didn't have. Oh, well. It's real fucking bad. It's real fucking bad. And still somehow not the worst song on here. All right, do a few more, and take another quick break, and then we get to the butt rock block, which, boy, I wish I could say I was looking forward to it. But I'm looking forward to seeing how you all react to it. We got a few more songs here before we get to that. And these next are all from fairly recent bands. This next band is one of my most hated bands in the world, and always has been. And they've somehow only gotten worse with time. This song is straight up nails on a chalkboard to me. It's by 30 Seconds to Mars. It sucks so much.
Whatever you do, don't ever play my game. Too many years being the king of pain. You gotta lose it all if you wanna take control. Sell yourself to save your soul. Rescue me from the demons in my mind. Rescue me from the lovers in my life. Rescue me from the demons in my mind. Rescue me, rescue me, rescue me. Rescue me. Whatever you do, don't ever lose your faith. The devil's quick to love, lust, and fame. Better to say yes than never no. Oh. Sell yourself to save your soul. Rescue me from the demons in my mind. Rescue me from the lovers in my life. Rescue me from the demons in my mind. Rescue me, rescue me, rescue me. Rescue me. Sell yourself to save your soul. You gotta sell yourself to save your soul. You gotta sell yourself to save your soul. You gotta sell yourself to save your soul. Rescue me from the demons in my mind. Rescue me from the lovers in my life. Rescue me from the demons in my mind. Rescue me, rescue me, rescue me. Rescue me. Rescue me. Rescue me. Rescue me, rescue me, rescue me.
Where do I even start? So here's the thing. I don't begrudge any famous person having other projects they want to work on. You know, like, I don't think people should be pigeonholed into just doing the one thing they're known for. I get it. Wanting to branch out as an artist, that's fine. Hey, you know, Keanu Reeves had Dog Star. I get it, man. But 30 Seconds to Mars, there was an old criticism I read years ago of the Foo Fighters, at least in their modern incarnation, where someone said that they just could not get into anything that the Foo Fighters were doing these days because it sounded very much like some old man's impression of alternative rock as opposed to an actual, I don't know. But, like, I don't think that's necessarily true of the Foo Fighters, but no band that doesn't resonate more with any other band for me than 30 Seconds to Mars. It sounds like they are doing an impression of rock and music, and it's about as good as Jared Leto's acting is. And that's just not, I can't deal with it. And this song in particular, it's just, the vocals, like, it just, He could have done another take, I feel like, because it's just not there at all. There's just nothing. It's barely music. It barely sounds like a song. Anyway, I was really waffling between whether I was going to put this song on here or an Imagine Dragons song, and believe me, I wanted to put the Imagine Dragons song on there, but this one is just so fucking irritating to me, I couldn't not put it on there. All right, couple more, then we're going to take a break. This song is by another band that a lot of people make fun of. And the thing of it is, they're a band, when they make fun of them, they primarily talk about them in their old style and what they used to be, which is to say a very weepy piano kind of moody, what a very baseline radio mood alternative. I don't even know what to call it. It's just, here's a sad piano song. And the thing is, that's not the worst stuff they ever put out. Like, I know that Fix You and the whole newsroom thing has really soured a lot of people on that era of Coldplay. But the stuff they've put out in the last 10 years really is the stuff that I think people should be hyper-focusing on when they talk about why they don't like Coldplay. For instance, this song.
Drink from me.
like to shoot that fucking song across the sky. Like, when I think about who I want to write songs about partying and getting high and doing things on the weekend, I can think about 30,000 bands I would like to hear from first, then Coldplay. This song sounds like the concept of doing those things you do on the weekend were described third hand to someone who had been raised in a basement for the first 40 years of their life. It's just bad. It's just bad. Shit makes me want to fucking consciously uncouple my skull from my spinal column. All right. One more. I'm going to take another short break. This next one is for a band that I don't actually hate at all, really. They've put out a lot of songs that I think are totally fine and decent. But this one from 2018 is just a mess. I don't know what they were trying to do here, and it's just confusing as shit. So here we go. What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? What is any of this? What were they doing in that song? What the fuck does the Munsters theme have to do with Uma Thurman?
Full come,
does any of that have to do with anything? Just baffling choices, top to bottom. Songwriting's hard, man, I get it. But you can't just fucking throw the Munsters guitar line in there and say, oh yeah, well no, fucking sing about it with, what are you doing? It's just baffling. Just baffling. Anyway, enough about that. Well, before we get into the old butt block, why don't we see if we have any questions from the chat? If you got one, line it up, send it my way. We've probably got, I'm going to say, maybe 40, 45 minutes left in this playlist. And then we're going to take an extended break. I don't think we're going to take the chat down. So stick around. I think we'll be going live around 6:45 ahead of the EA thing, so get ready for that. I'm going to go hose off after this. And then we'll get ready to talk over about some EA stuff. Dubs asked, how are you doing? I'm fine. Again, this is a purging. This is a purging of bad music. We are getting it out of my life. I will not have to play these songs on a stream again if I don't want to. And for the most part, I really don't want to. So, you know, this is good. It's good for the soul to get this stuff out of there. Sabotage 704, are you bored playing these? No, I'm not bored. I hate the songs, but I'm not bored. I'm happy to be here. I'm always happy to rock for you, no matter what the music is. I hate them. That's all. See what else we got. Cabaroran asking, why does music make us hurt? All things can make us hurt. All expressions, all artistic expression is capable of hurting us. You know, there's video games out there that hurt us. The Last of Us 2 seems to have been designed specifically to hurt many of us. You know, that's what it is designed for. And, you know, these songs, I'm sure a lot of these artists didn't go into it assuming that they were going to be harming people with this music. Maybe a few of them did, but for the most part not. But they did. And that's just because the power of what they were trying to get out there was unfortunately toxic and horrible. Flip175 asking, which of these would you play at your funeral? Obviously Uma Thurman. I want the Munsters. You know what? No, just fuck that. Just play the Munsters theme as they're carrying my coffin down. Let's see what else we got. Ice Angel, what's the worst album you actually own? I don't really own very many albums anymore. I sold a lot of my CDs many years ago. So own is a difficult thing to say because I don't really own any music. It's all on streaming at this point. I will say that if I had to pick the album I was most embarrassed later on that I spent money on, I owned the Gerardo album. The one that everyone had. Or by everyone, I mean, most people probably just bought the single and didn't bother buying the album. But I bought the whole damn album because I was like 10 and dumb. Rico Suave, motherfuckers. The great Polio giving me some context for Uma Thurman. This is a fun song to write originally when we came up with the idea, and there was the sample in it, which is a sample from the Munsters TV show. People kept saying, oh, cool, like Quentin Tarantino, cool, when we played it. What? What? Stop hanging out with stoners. Is Shut Up and Dance a wedding song? Sorry, I missed who said that. It's close enough. I don't know if it was necessarily intended that way, but yeah, I think it qualifies. Someone said I need to send the taunt. I'm not sending any taunts. I'm not doing that. In bad music, who is your least favorite drummer? Oh, boy. You know, most professional musicians, most professional drummers are pretty good. they kind of have to be like a base level of good to be on a professional recording. All I will say is that the next band and next song is some of the lamest, most awful sounding drumming I've ever heard. And we'll talk more about that later. And I think that, I don't know if they're the worst, but they're way up there. Any good bands that have a real bad song in your opinion? Yeah, I mean, look, there's lots of bands that just eventually make bad shit. Like, I think some of the Rolling Stones post 80s output is fine, but they got some real shitty songs from that time too. I feel like a lot of bands, like, it's just once you get over a certain length of time, you're gonna throw some clunkers out there, and they happen, you know? Like, there's a ton of bands that I think are still great, you still perform well, still do what they do, but some of the stuff they write is just not acceptable to me. Okay, last one I'm gonna take here. Here we go. A Rad Skull asking, what is the best way to talk to a drummer who only wants to play as fast, high technique as possible? So, this was me once. The person you were talking to was one side. 14-year-old Alex really wanted to do the most all the time, was not necessarily talented enough to pull it off, and it took... People tried to sit me down and get me to listen and be like, hey, we don't need to be doing all of this on this song. That's maybe not necessary. And I was very stubborn, and I didn't want to listen. And I'll tell you the thing that did it for me. And this is a story that I used to be bothered by, but I no longer am. I've gotten over it because the whole thing was so ridiculous to begin with. But so when the band I was in the longest, there was a time when A&M Records was interested in signing us. Obviously, never happened. But before they were going to sign us, they wanted us to do some demos in LA. And so they brought us down to LA. We stayed there for like a week at the A&R guy's house in the Hollywood Hills, which was weird but wild. And they brought us into the studio, and Trevor Keith from Face to Face, who was on A&M Records at the time, apparently had been angling to do some producing, so they decided to have him do the demos. And so we got in there, and I had been told ahead of time to practice with the click track and to maybe like simplify some things so that I could play this recording better. I tried, I did some click practice, but honestly I was definitely not as invested in it as I should have been. And so after a day in the studio of me trying to lay down drum tracks, they the next day decided they were going to use a drum machine on the rest of the recordings. And I took that very personally. But in retrospect, the demos sucked for a variety of reasons. They came out terrible. But it's not because of that. It's because they were bad demos. But I came to realize that I had not done the preparation I needed to do. I was not listening to the advice of other musicians who knew better than me that I needed to modulate some things to do a better job. And you know what? I learned something from it. I have approached music differently since then. I have learned to take things in stride and to realize that I don't always have to be doing the most. Sometimes I have a little hard time modulating my volume, but beyond that, I did learn something from it. It did make me a better drummer, a better musician, and it made me more receptive to criticism, I gotta say. So that is that story. There you go. All right, let's get to it. Let's get to the butt rock block. Let's close this out. Let's finish this out. Because I need to go do a quick hose down after this, and then we're going to do the EA stream. So these next 9 songs, what butt rock is debated among music scholars, continues to be. Largely, it is, I think, generally considered to be condensed into the era of post-grunge, bad rock music, radio rock. I think it's a broader definition. I think it can encompass a lot of different things. But the one quality that all butt rock more or less embodies is that every song that would be called butt rock has the quality of as if it emanated from a butt. Like this next one. We're going all the way back to the Rock Band 1 soundtrack with this one. Yeah.
my chest. I'm in a nightmare. Sun the shade as I bleed, wish the sun would rescue me. Want my mind to let me be. I'm in a nightmare. Hear the sound of the night, my imagination's better. I lie awake and wonder what's beneath my bed. I would scream out for help, but I'm too consumed with fear. Maybe if I lay real still, you won't know I'm here. I'm in a nightmare. Stop the shade as I bleed, wish the sun would rescue me. Want my mind to let me speak. I'm in a nightmare.
Oh, we're in a nightmare, all right. That, all right, look, again, I don't want to pick on kids. They were like 15 when they made these, we'll call them records. It's not an excuse not to tune your snare drum. You got to tune that shit. I don't care how much you like Saint Anger. You got to fucking tune that snare drum, man. You gotta. Because then you get that if you don't. And it sounds bad. I've told the Crooked X story before, if you were curious. I think it was like 3 weeks ago on the Canceled Music stream. They were a band of 15-year-olds from like Oklahoma, and they were foisted upon harmonics by an MTV executive because they were going to do a reality show. The story's there. Go watch that stream. I don't want to talk about them anymore. It's a really fucking bad song. And that's all there is to say about that. So are the rest of these. This next one, this is for all my film buffs out there. All my movie heads who love film, cinema. You may remember this song as the love theme from The Expendables.
I am the shadow and the smoke.
goodbye to my weakness, so long to regret.
Diamond Eyes, boom lay, boom lay, boom. The story I remember at that song, and I don't know why I remember this, but at some point I looked this up, was that they were asked, either they were asked or offered to write this song for the movie The Expendables as like the theme song, like the big song from the movie, and then it never appeared in the movie. It's they only used it for the trailer. There's getting bodied, there's getting curved, and then there's getting curved by the Expendables, is all I'm saying. Monkey's dad says it's in the director's cut. Well, I don't know if I've seen the director's cut. Maybe I'll get around to it one day. All right. Just checking my messages. All right, we got 7 more. Look, after Nightmare, everything's going to seem better than that. But this one's going to test your patience and your soul. Here we go.
I'm through with standing in line to clubs I'll never get in. It's like the bottom of the ninth and I'm never gonna win this. Life hasn't turned out quite the way I want it to be. Tell me what you want. I want a brand new house on an episode of Cribs and a bathroom I can play baseball in, and a king-size tub big enough for 10 plus me. So what you need? I'll need a credit card that's got no limit and a big black chain with a bedroom in it. Gonna join the Mile High Club at 37,000 feet. Been done. I want a new tour bus full of old guitars. Mine star on Hollywood Boulevard. Somewhere between Cher and James Dean is fine for me. So how you gonna do it? I'm gonna trade this life for fortune and fame. I'd even cut my hair and change my name. Cause we all just wanna be big rock stars and live in hilltop houses driving 15 cars. The girls come easy and the drugs come cheap. Well, I'll stay skinny cause we just won't eat, and we'll hang out in the coolest bars and the VIP with the movie stars. Every good gold digger's gonna wind up there. Every playboy bunny with a bleached blonde hair. And well, hey, hey, I wanna be a rock star. Hey, hey, I wanna be a rock star. I wanna be great like Elvis without the tassels. Hire 8 bodyguards that love to beat up. Sign a couple autographs so I can eat my meals for free. I'm gonna dress my ass with the latest fashion. Get a front door key to the Playboy mansion. Gonna date a Santa phone that loves to blow my money for me. So how you gonna do it? I'm gonna trade this life for fortune and fame. I'd even cut my hair and change my name. Cause we all just wanna be big rock stars and live in hilltop houses driving 15 cars. The girls come easy and the drugs come cheap. We'll all stay skinny cause we just won't eat. And we'll hang out in the coolest bars in the VIP with the movie stars. Every good gold digger's gonna wind up there. Every playboy bunny with a bleached blonde hair. And we'll hide out in the private rooms with the latest dictionary of today's zoo. They'll get you anything with that evil smile. Everybody's got a drug dealer on speed dial. Well, hey, I wanna be a rock star. Hey, I wanna be a rock star.
You became one. You did. You did that. And look what you did with it. Look what you made. Look what you did. Let's just keep moving. I can't. I can't linger on the Nickelback. I can't do it. I can't do it. No.
When dreaming
There's nothing I could say. I mean, there's nothing I could say about Creed that has not been said many, many, many times over. So let's not let it linger on that. Let's go higher. We're going to go higher with this next song. Now, this next song, okay, this might be the most controversial butt rock designation that I'm giving here. As I said, I don't believe butt rock encompasses a specific era. I don't think it can a very hyper-specific subgenre. I think any song that is rock that comes from a butt can definitely be qualified this way. Kiss is not a band that I would call a butt rock band, but a lot of their songs sound like they come from a butt. And when they put out solo material, it appears to be even more so. Let's go even higher to outer space.
You said you wanted my love to be a part of your game, but when I came from above, I looked around, but you turned up lame. But now you're scratching and crawling your way up from the grave. You should have stayed in the dirt, girl. It's like I told you. It's like I told you I came from outer space. That's how I know your name. It's like I told you I came from outer space. I wanna take you away. You took a drink of my sweet love, and then the poison took. You hooked me up to your sick machine, and then I blew you up. You were 1 in a billion before the button was pushed. You should have stayed in the dirt, girl. It's like I told you. It's like I told you I came from outer space. That's how I know your name. I'm sick and tired of the human race. I wanna take you away. It's like I told you I came from outer space. That's how I know your name. I'm sick and tired of the human race. I want you by my side. I wanna take you to heaven.
What in the fuck? So yeah, I call that butt rock of a type. Good lord. Okay, what do we got? 4 more? Oh, we can do this. Thank you for powering through all this hell with me. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you enjoying this bad music with me. Always. This next band, I don't know much about them. I looked them up when I was putting together this playlist because I don't even remember buying this song. It's one of the few that I would actually go to the point saying maybe I shouldn't have. You ever hear a recording of a band that, like, you listen to it and you almost kind of feel a little bit bad for them because the whole thing just sounds so shitty? And I don't mean like the Crooked X stuff, which I actually don't have a great deal of sympathy for that whole thing. But this one, it's like this band went on to have hits. Like, they were around for a while. And this one, oh boy, here we go. Here we go.
Looking back at me, I see that I never really got it right. I never stopped to think of you. I'm always wrapped up in things I cannot win. You are the antidote that gets me by, something strong like a drug that gets me high. What I really meant to say is I'm sorry for the way I am. I never meant to be so cold. Never meant to be so cold. What I really meant to say is I'm sorry for the way I am. I never meant to be so cold. Never meant to be so cold. To you, I'm sorry about all the lies. Maybe in a different light. You could see me stand on my own again. 'Cause now I can see you are the antidote that got me by. Something strong like a drug that got me high. What I really meant to say is I'm sorry for the way I am. I never meant to be so cold. Never meant to be so cold. What I really meant to say is I'm sorry for the way I am. I never meant to be so cold. Never meant to be so cold. I never meant to be so cold. Wanted you to see the screwed up side of me that I keep locked inside of me so deep. It always seems to get to me. I never really wanted you to go. So many things you should have known. I guess for me there's just no hope. I never meant to be so. What I really meant to say is I'm sorry for the way I am. I meant to be so cold. Never meant to be so. What I really meant to say is I'm sorry for the way I am. I never meant to be so cold. Never meant to be so cold.
Like, the song's bad. It's not a good song. But the production on it, it's just so rancid. It just sounds so awful. It's like they ran the whole song through like they held up a fucking can of smashed assholes to a speaker and then recorded that. Good lord. It's so bad. It sounds so bad. Ugh. All right, 3 more. This next band is not the most popular butt rock band. They are not the most tolerable butt rock band. They might be the worst. I don't know, but they're definitely in the running. But to me, they are the most perfect butt rock band. They are a band that I think perfectly embodies the notion of what this is, and especially the album art for this particular song, which I'm going to bring up here because I went to the trouble of getting it, is maybe one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life. Let me, I don't know if that's there or not. No, there it is. Okay, check this out. Look at this. Look at this. Look at every aesthetic choice they made here. Look at it. Just drink it in. Drink that shit in. Look at that. Every aesthetic choice there is the most perfect butt rock horrible decision. This is Hinder. The song is called Use Me, and it sucks.
Alright now. From the top. She wouldn't spit on me if I was on fire. She says she loves me, but I know she's a liar. The sex is good, but gosh, she's got no desire. That's alright, she's taking me home tonight. She's kinda cool, but yeah, she's hot on the outside. Last night got nasty and I'm still kinda tongue-tied. I hate to say it, but she brings out my sick side. That's alright, she's taking me home tonight. She's got a whole lot of love, but it's never enough. Take me to heaven above, but I won't be a fool and fight it. She's gonna use me, but I like it. Yeah, yeah. I bet she's wondering if I'm worth a while. She's judging jury and she's got me on trial. But I ain't sweating 'cause I'm first on a speed dial. Yeah, that's right, she's taking me home tonight. She always leaves and makes me feel kinda sleazy. It's kinda cool because she already pleased me. I'm lying here just thinking this is too easy. Yeah, that's right, she's taking me home tonight. She's got a whole lot of love, but it's never enough. Take me to heaven above,
Yeah, it's something, isn't it? It's really something. Obviously, that was not the first bad song put into Rock Band as DLC, but I will say that this song came out during my time there, and I think that was the first one that actually got me to ask people around the studio, do we actually have to put this out? Do we actually have to release this? And of course, the answer was yes, the deal was signed, we had to do it, but I asked the question, and that's what's important. 2 more songs, folks. And they're doozies, I'm not going to lie to you. This next one, well, they were in the news recently. You probably know them. It's not the song they covered, but here's one of their hits.
Met a girl, thought she was grand. Fell in love, found out firsthand. Went well for a week or 2. Then it all came unglued. In a trap I can't grab. Never thought I'd be the one who'd slip. Then I started to realize I was living one big lie. She hates me, just she hates me. Love, I tried too hard and she told my feelings like I had none and ripped them away. She was queen for about an hour. After that, got sour. She took all I ever had. No sign of guilt, not feeling bad. No, in a trip I can't grab. Never thought I'd be the one who'd slip. Then I started to realize I was living one big lie. She hates me, trust she hates me. La 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 la. I tried too hard and she told my feelings like I had none and ripped them away. That's my story, as you see. Learned my lesson and so did she. Now it's over and I'm glad, 'cause I'm a fool for all I've said. She hates me, trust she hates me. La 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 la. I tried too hard and she told my feelings like I had none and ripped them away. La 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 la. Trust. La 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 la. Trust. La 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 la. And she told my feelings like I had none. Trust. She hates me.
That was actually my audition tape to be in Puddle of Mud. So I don't know if they need a drummer right now, but I mean, if they're looking, I'm available. If you want to know, if you need someone who can play She Hates Me, I got it. I can do it. So just, give me a call. Give me a ring. Little ring ding ding. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready. I'm ready to join Puddle of Mud. I'm in. All right, we got one more song, folks. I think the worst of it is behind us. The next song's real not good, but it's not the worst. I needed something that was a little more active at the end. You might ask yourself, can butt rock only be rock? Is it all subgenres of rock? Can butt rock exist elsewhere other than just alternative? Absolutely. Butt metal is absolutely a thing that exists. And this next band is maybe the shining example of butt metal. Here we go.
You think you know me? You don't know. I've seen the world through your eyes, and it makes me sick. I've questioned all of your answers, they're lies. I won't conform to your system. I'd rather die, I'd burn it down. Just to watch it go, burn it down. So everybody know I burn it down. Just to see it through, burn it down. I hate it to the core. Think you're a martyr, not hard to see. You wanna rule the world, you gotta get through me. Your iron fist will be broken, no soul to sell. You think I'll burn for my actions? See you in hell. Burn it down. I do it for myself. Burn it down. For me and no one else. I burn it down. Just to watch it fall. Burn it down. I hate you. Just to watch it go, burn it down. So everybody know I burn it down. Just to see it through, burn it down. I hate it to the core.
It's the vocals. It's the vocals every time they get me with that band. They are just so wretched. Ugh. And with that, folks, we have reached the end of the playlist. You are free. Go forth into the world and impart the knowledge that I have brought upon you today of what depths music has to offer. I hope we all learned something today. I hope we found pieces of ourselves that we didn't know were there, and we learned to suppress them, to just beat them down into the depths of our soul so that they never resurface again. I'm going to go hose off real fast, and then I'm going to get ready for this here EA talkover stream. Next week, as I said, we will very likely try. I will try and get Guitar Hero World Tour together. We will play the songs in that game that never made their way to Rock Band, and if for some reason that doesn't work, I'll just play some more Rock Band. Does that sound like a plan? Does that sound like a good idea? It won't be this, I can tell you that. Again, we'll do this again someday. Maybe not for some weeks. We'll give it a little break. But we will return with more bad music one day. That is my guarantee to you. That is my threat to the world. But until that time, thank you for joining us on Giant Bomb. Thank you for watching us stream. I'll see you all probably in a little bit. And then I'm going to take some days off. But I'll be back next week for more streams. So there. Have yourselves a good one. I'm going to hit the button right about now. Bye.